Okay, for the first activity for somatic reflex for lab 9, I'm going to cross my legs and I need you to tap in under my patellar in the joint, and then we need to see what the response is from that. So we're testing my right leg first. Go ahead and actually you'll need to use the sharp right in there. Okay, so the response is for my leg to kick out, my lower leg, and now we'll switch legs and do the same thing. Okay, same thing. Okay, so the muscle that contracted was the skeletal muscle, and both lower leg kicked out. The nerve is carrying the afferent, and afferent impulses is the sensory and the motor neuron. And the psychological purpose of humans having this reflex is to maintain posture, balance, and motion. Without the reflexes, we would not be able to feel movement. We would be paralyzed. The next step we're going to do is mental distraction. So we're going to have you check my reflexes again while I am drawing a column of 3 number digits to see what it does, a difference with mental distraction. So go ahead and check my reflex again while I'm writing. Okay, so what the response for that is a slower response, because as I'm writing a column of numbers, and my distraction of that is causing not as quick as a response for my reflex. So that's a delay for that one. The next step is I am to clasp the edge of the chair or bench in attempt to pull it upward with both hands at the same time. We're to test the patellar reflex again. So I guess I'm going to try to pull it upward with both hands, and then at the same time you're to test my reflex as I'm pulling with both hands down a little bit lower. And as we're testing that way, I'm finding that the response, there's no response with the reflex as I'm using muscles to focus and pull up on the chair. The next thing to do is the jogging in one place till I'm fatigued, and then we will test the reflex again on the patellar area. So I'm to jog in place. Jeez. Check it here in a minute. Okay, now I'll sit and I'll have you. And now we're checking after the exercise, whether after fatigue, what the reflex is, and if it's more vigorous than the first response. Try it again. Okay, I'm finding as we're testing that the response is less vigorous. I can hardly tell any reflex at all with the muscles have been exercised and used. So less vigorous is my answer. And yes, I would say that the nervous system activity, muscle function is responsible for the changes that we've observed, because the muscles are tired and worn, and so there's more, the energy is more into the muscle, and so there's less reflex. The next thing we'll test is the Achilles ankle jerk reflex. So with my shoe removed, and with my foot dorsiflex slightly to increase tension of the gastrocnemius muscle, I'm going to have my partner sharply tap the calcaneal Achilles tendon with the broad side of the hammer. So with this side back here on the Achilles. And I do feel the reflex jerk when he hits that. And during walking, the action of your gastrocnemius at the ankle, it is as you're walking with that tendon, that's what enables you to flex your foot to walk. And again, as he tested the reflex, I can feel the reflex of the bouncing of the tendon. The next reflex we're going to test is I'm going to stand and raise